Okay, so good evening, and let us start going. I think you have to do this thing. Before we start today's proceedings, I have this pleasant duty, which you can actually see here. Our colleague Rajesh Mistry, we all call him Rajesh, of course. He is retiring at the end of this month, and the kind of service that he has done to the asset, I think he and asset are same age, probably. Uh, so last 40 years, he has been, I mean, you all have seen him along with his colleagues, of course, has tremendous, done lot of contributions and hard work for asset. And he's very passionate about asset, that, everything should go well. And so many times, because of the COVID, of course, we have all these online, virtual, etc., etc. So there are challenges. Just now you saw small things, and he was always forthcoming and very enthusiastic, very passionate about the whole thing. So I think we thought that it is a good gesture on part of asset to kind of thank him in some way today. So I request Rajesh to come here and accept our thanks. Stop. Okay. Meanwhile, our speaker has vanished. I hope you didn't go to Hang. Base camp. Yeah, I was worried. Okay. So now we come to the proceedings of today's asset colloquium. Once again, on behalf of all of us, let us invite Professor Mondal to his own institute, his own place. But today, he is going to kind of talk on as you saw on the poster, a completely different topic. On this same hall, he must have given many physics colloquia, set colloquia, many other talks, and so on. But today he is coming and going to talk on a completely different topic. About that a little while later. But once again, not for his asset colloquium, but for his great expedition, let us invite also him with a bouquet of flowers. And as you know, you saw probably on the poster, and this colloquium is but somewhat special because it is a joint colloquium between ASSET and TIFR Sports Club. And we have the chairperson of TIFR Sports Club, Somin, and also the secretary, Sri Ganeshwar here. And Ganeshwar wants to speak a few words about Prof. Mondal and also about the sports club. So I want to hand out the mic to him.
Good evening. Thank you, Satyanarayan sir. Dear all, it gives us, as a sports club of TFR, immense pleasure to introduce Professor Naba Mondal, not as a researcher, but as an individual who has achieved the great heights in the fitness and conquered the Mount Everest base camp, which is height of 17,598 feet at the age of 72. So thank you, Satyanarayan sir, for inviting TIFR Sport Club on the on this important assets colloquium, which is a which is dear subject to us, as we to have been facilitating all TFR Sport Club members who successfully completed the Giri Sanchar trek every year. Our request to all TFR members is to get motivated by the inspiring story and the achievement of Professor Naba Mondal. Hereby request Satyanarayan sir to invite Professor Naba Mondal on his lecture.
Hello, everybody. I request our chairman, Shri Goa Kadam sir, to felicitate Professor Naba Mondal on this occasion. Thank you. Satyanarayan sir, please take over.
Okay.
Stop it
Now
now.
for the last time before First Mondal comes here and take over. As I always say, it's there's no need at all for this introduction of First Mondal here, but I'm doing this pleasant duty for the benefit of those who are joined on the social media. Let me say a few words about him. He's Professor Naba Mondal currently is an INSA senior scientist at Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. And he was the project director of INO, that is India-based Neutrino Observatory, and a senior professor at TIFR. His research mainly lies in elementary particle physics, essentially detecting elementary particle physics and studying their properties. He's a fellow of all three science academies in India, and he's also a J.C. Bose National Fellow and a fellow of World Academy of Sciences this is kind of his professional introduction. But today, the concern with today's topic, aside from his scholarly pursuits, Professor Mondal has interest in various activities such as swimming, scuba diving, jogging, and high mountain trekking. And it is this incredible trek to Everest base camp. Obviously, at his age of 72, he is going to kind of share his experiences about it. And before I leave this dais, let me tell you, there is already a big demand by many of our colleagues in the canteen saying that he should come back and give another colloquium. And you can guess the topic at that time would be is reaching to the summit of Everest at 74. So with those words, now it is over to Professor Mondal.
Thank you, Satya, for this incredible that, I didn't expect this, the type of felicitation that you're giving. I have not done much, just gone to Everest Base Camp. Anyway, so the topic is, the Everest Base Camp that I did in just a few months back in May, and chasing dreams and conquering heights. So let me I have to go there. Okay, so now it will work. So let me start with the motivation why I did that actually. And it happens actually about a decade back. My friend A.R. Rao is, I think, connected by Zoom. So it was a casual discussion, as we always happen in 5 o'clock in West Canteen about a decade back. And what is this? It's not working. Just check. Okay. So as casual conversation with A.R. Rao in the West Canteen a decade back, that maybe we should back. Rao has just come back from his. I think it is not working. Okay. Rao has just come back at that time, completing Annapurna Base Camp. And then he has also done several other treks in the Himalayas. And we thought that, okay, what we can do? I have not done those. So he said, okay, we'll go to Everest Base Camp. And that was in my mind side. We have to go to Everest Base Camp. Then I retired, of course, and went back to Calcutta. But then I was reading the book by, right one on three. Is it something is blocking? No, So maybe you have to come Rajesh every time. So the book by David Sinclair, and the book is named Lifespan. And of course, I don't know much about his science. He's a biologist, and many biologists will know there. And he's basically asking why we age and why we don't have to. And I like that title, actually. So I just started reading that book. And of course, I don't understand what gene and whatever is doing, but two things that come out from me, from that book, as exercise and eat less. That's what he's telling, that main thing that you have to do if you don't want to get age. So I thought, okay, that's easy. So I'll do that. So that's my second motivation for this one. And the third motivation there, I think I have to go there. This is something is happening. Okay. So Uchai. How many have seen the movie Uchai? Many of you. Good. So it's a fictional story of three friends' journey to Everest base camp at their late 60s. Of course, when I was watching that movie with my wife, and she told me that, look, this is a fictional story, so don't have anything in your mind. And I told her, yes, of course, this is a fictional story. I don't have anything to do with that. But watching that movie, you feel like joining them. You can't stop it. So I was feeling like joining them. So that was the type of thing that was going on in my mind. And that time, and next decision time came. We met in our friend's dinner party, actually. So this is a decision time. So for making good decision, you must be a quote-unquote spirited mood among friends. Okay? And that happens. So it was on the evening of 28th January. And when we met some of our young friends over dinner, they're all young friends on dinner. And then this topic of Uchai came up. And upon hearing my desire to trek EBC, two of my young friends there, who had also watched Uchai, immediately jumped up in excitement and then expressed their desire to join me if I undertake such a journey. And then decision, of course, in my mind, I made the decision. Of course, but then I have other constraint because in my house, the vote was equally divided, 1-1, 1 for, 1 against. So what do you do in that such a situation? You have to call the third umpire. And our house third umpire was that time at Bangalore, my son. So she called actually on phone and thinking that he will support her, that not going. But he agreed actually, to my surprise. But then he said, okay, let him go. But then he also told me something that, my friend is around 38. So my friend also went there 2 months back, but he came back halfway. So he remembered that. I said, okay, fine, that's fine. So I'll try. So that's the decision was made. So then my wife also agreed, and then there is no issue. Now preparation. So because going there, you have to be seriously, you have to take seriously. I was doing jogging, a few kilometers a day. So I started regular walking, jogging, something like 7 to 8 kilometers a day. And actually, just where I'm living in Newtown, Kolkata, outside that, there is really nice village trails. You can see from there. And if you like, walking there, the added, incentive was there. We are watching birds in the morning. And in the process, we have actually found that in that village area, there are 50 different kinds of birds, actually. And that's really good. And then, but you can't, have just 7, 8 kilometers. So you have to walk at least, that's what I read in the internet, that go for long walk. So 7 to 18 to 20 kilometers that I used to do in weekends. And that is where I'm staying. Some 10 kilometers from there is that Eco Park, and there is a Cafe de Golf, and beautiful cafe. So that is again an incentive. So you walk up to that cafe 10 kilometers and have a first class Darjeeling tea there, sitting, and then again come back. So that was a good thing. We are doing that. But just walking is not enough for me. I am 72, as you can realize. So I have to do other things. So I started going to the gym and work out there in the treadmill, as well as with the instrument there a little bit, going for swimming. And then I live in a high rise. It's on the 29th floor. And then I started walking, climbing to stairs. And then I came one day on 29th floor, knocked my door, and my wife opened the door again. And she said, what are you doing? I mean, are you mad? Climbing up 29th floor? But she didn't know that one afternoon, while going to Everest base camp, I have to climb something like 15 such 29th floor equivalent in one afternoon. But that's later. Well, And then you have to do some breathing, good breathing. So yoga, pranayama, that helped. So that was my intensive training that I went through for 3 months. And then, of course, I went to my CHSS doctor and told him that this is my plan. He told me, okay, go for test. And I did some test of basically for cardiovascular test and lungs. And somehow I passed that test. So, okay, so I got the permission from the doctors to go. So now you have to gap gears. And there are costly things. And why to spend so much money? So we found a store in central Calcutta. He's a local guy who makes these, he's a trekking enthusiast. He has a store and he makes those things and then he sells it. So there are most of the things I got, like this, somebody was asking me that, how do you find that colorful down jacket? That's the place I found it, not very costly, and few other things. But then you have to top it up with going to Decathlon few times. And that's what I was doing, going there, happily buying things. But the most important things is these two, last two. So this is the sticks and the shoe. Actually, shoe is most important because you can't have any chances. And we have been told that you use the shoe for 3 months at least before going there, because you don't want to have any surprise while you are walking in the shoe. So I bought that shoe quite early and started using it every day in the jogging and walking that I was doing. So this is the gear. Now booking the tour. So we again going through the internet, and we are the first time, very novice. So we didn't want to go ourselves. So we booked actually through an Indian company. It's affiliated, a Jaipur-based company, and it's just a booking platform. They will book you for whatever you do, and we booked with them. They connected us to another Kathmandu-based trek operator, the real operator, and this is called Honey Guide company. And this guy also did nothing for us. Then he ultimately connected us to this guide called Siring Sherpa, and he was the guide, and he did everything for us. He and his assistant and a group of porters who will take our luggage, part of it, and part we have to carry ourselves. So that was done there. But then what about insurance? And I was told that when you are going for, this is sporting activities and up to 5,000, 6,000 meters. So for trekkers in EVC route, travel insurance covering high altitude advantage sports up to 6,000 meters with emergency helicopter evacuation is highly recommended, because this mountain sickness problem is very serious. You have to take it very seriously. And if something happens, if possible, you come down or you just evacuate by helicopter. So you have, and that's very costly if you have to do yourself. So I was looking for insurance, but there was a problem. Problem is that not many insurance companies will insure someone above 70 to go to 5,000 pillar. And that's why I found all these insurance companies, they said they give their rate, different rate, and then stopped at 69 years. That's it. And what do we do? Ultimately, we found an India-based company called ASC 360. They did it for me. But 4 times the premium that my 2 younger colleagues were paying. But you have to do it. So insurance is done. We are ready to go. Now you have to study the route that you will be following. So here is the trekking route that we will be following. We will fly to a place called Lukla. And from there, we will start our trek. And then every day we will go to these places. Lukla to Phakding, and Phakding to Namche Bazar, so we call Namche Bazar to Tengboche, to Dingboche, to Lebuche, Goreksep, to Everest base camp. While coming back, we will not go to Dingboche, but come back via Feriche and come back. If you follow that, you will see always we are following the river. I mean, that's really true. I mean, most of the trails are along the river. So it's not surprising. And this is called Dudkosi River. This is the main river. And that will be following. And there is other tributaries, and they're all coming from glaciers here. And here is the Kumbh Glacier. That's what we are going. And we'll be following this route. And this is the route. So we studied quite correctly. So I'll give you another view of that with the rivers. So this is actually Dudkosi River. This is Bhotekosi River. And this is Imja Khola River. This is Kumbh Khola River. And we will be basically going to this way, Dudkosi. And from there, we will leave Dudkosi and follow Imja Khola. And from there, this route is called Kumbh Khola River. And then this is Kumbh Glacier, from where this river started actually. And then you will see all these rivers are starting from glacier. So you are in the glacier land, there you are reaching. Now, how about the elevation? How we are going to cover that elevation? So here we will be flying to Lukla, which is at 2850 meter. Then you start trekking. You come down actually on first day. And I don't like it. I mean, anywhere losing heights is bad actually when you are trekking, but you have no option. You have to come down. And then Fakding is 2600 meter. From Fakding, you go to Namche Bazaar. But you look at this, first in the morning, you'll be walking not too much, ups and downs, ups and downs. Then after lunch, zoom, you have to go something like 400 to 500 meters high and reach Namche Bazaar. This was the toughest one, and you can from the picture. But then Namche Bazaar, and here we will have an acclimatization day. Acclimatization day means you stay there another day, but you don't sleep in your bed. They will take you 500 meters up because they want to expose your body or your lungs to a higher altitude, but they'll bring you back and sleep in the lower altitude. That's the idea of acclimatization. So that means you go up 500 meters, come down 500 meters. We'll do at Namche Bazaar and we'll do again at Dingboche, these two. So here we'll be staying 2 nights and here's 2 nights. But then you go straight here, Namche Bazaar, then again lose all the heights here, and then again climb to Dingboche, and then again you see continue there, Lubuche, and then you can see how the heights are going, and ultimately base camp at 5360 meters. While coming down from actually Gorakhpur, we'll come straight to Feriche that I told you, and Feriche to Namche Bazaar. These are up something like 22 meters each day, a kilometer each day, Namche Bazaar, and then from Lukla, and then take your flight back. So this is nice, and okay, we knew that what we are going to go through. So now let's start. So from Kathmandu, we reached by Air India, Kathmandu Hotel, and we reach around 4 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock, this guy, Nima, from this honey guide company, he came and he briefed us what we have to do. And what he was basically told us that we are not flying from Kathmandu to Lukla. We have to go to another place called Ramechep, and Ramechep is 4 hours drive from Kathmandu, but all the flights to Lukla only starts in the early morning because sky is clear. I will tell you why it is needed. But so we have to reach there early morning at 6 o'clock. So that means around 2 o'clock we have to start from the hotel. And now we have no option. We almost didn't sleep that night. And then they put us at night 2 o'clock in a bus, and then our luggage on the top. And then we start driving from there through those mountainous road and somehow reach Ramechep in one step. Okay, so good. So we reach and waiting there for the airport. I mean, nice airport, it looks. I mean, it's smaller than a small railway station, but that's okay. And then we are waiting for our flight to come from Lukla, and the flight reached. And this is Samitia. This is the small plane, something like 15-seater, and it will take you and to Lukla. And we put ourselves into that plane. And along with, actually, this plane will take everything. It will take you, it will take some chicken, goats, whatever is there for the people, and then your luggage. And then you can see, for example, here, some seats are occupied by this luggage, and our group member, or by the way, we had something like 12 people in the group, and from different parts of the India, and we met them all at that Kathmandu hotel for the first time, and we became friends actually, very nice actually. All the young people around, and then we started moving, flying there, and then somehow reached Lukla and came out of the plane. Okay, they reached Lukla, but there is something you should know about Lukla. I didn't tell you so far. So what about Lukla? Lukla Tenzing Hilari Airport, of course, I mean, this is the gateway to Mount Everest, and it's the name of Tenzing and Hilari, so that's fine. It's known as the most adventurous or dangerous airport in the world, depending on your appetite, what you want to do it. Whether it is dangerous or adventurous is up to you. But why? So let's look into this one. Surrounded on all sides by steep mountain, on all sides. So you are going, the plane will be going, it's both sides is mountain, and then in the front also mountain. There is a small shelf on the mountain, some plain land. The plane will just go straight. It will not descend because there is no question of descent. It will just go and zoom. It sit on that shelf, and you will be coming out, and then it will be set. But then thin air, cloudy it's most of the time, and windy. The cloud is the most important because once you are in that side, plane has gone and it has started descending. If there is that visibility problem, it has no way to come back. It has to land because it cannot turn around. There is not enough space for it. So that's why it is dangerous actually. And that's why they go early morning, because that is the time when it is clear. Most of the time the cloud is not there. So that's what the reason. And the short runway. It's a 500-meter runway. Okay, so that's why it has to stop. Now it can go. So actually, the runway was made like that. So you go up in a slope of 14 degrees so that it can arrest the speed quickly. So this is what it is. So and a steep drop below. So fine. So now this is the picture of that one. So you can see this. This is the deep valley here. So it will go, and this is the runway start. Runway stops here, and in the front it is mountain. This side mountain. This side mountain. That's why it is dangerous. And here is the one plane is coming through that mountain and just landing it there on that runway strip. And you can look carefully if you see this, can see the slope here, up so here, and this will come there. But I'll show you a video also here. So let's look into that video. That will give you some idea about what is the. So I'm taking that video from my plane window. It's just almost going along the mountain actually. You can see the mountain wall. And then it goes like that. Very close. I mean, I'm just seeing outside my window is the wall of the mountain. This is Dudhkochi river. That's how we'll go. We'll follow that river afterwards. And then it comes. And it just land there. There's nothing, no descent. It just land there. Because that self is there. Yes, we got a good visibility. That's good. Okay, so this is all your everything. Your outside world is now connection is gone. You start walking from here. Lukla to Phakding, day one, our walk. So first thing you just go and entering this trail, Everest Base Camp trail, and there is a gate called Pasang Lamu Gate. And Pasang Lamu is the first Nepalese woman who climbed Mount Everest in 1996. And while climbing down from the mountain, she died. And that was really the heroic effort. And so her memory, there are many things on her memory in this route. And this gate, you are entering through that is Pasang Lamu Gate. So that's why you are officially entering into the EBC trail. So that start here. But it's beautiful, okay. Here is some of my group members here, not all of them, all young. And I also felt very, very young as in the middle of them. So this was good. So you start walking. There, while going through this trail, three actually, this structure you will see quite often. It's dotted along the road. One is called Mani Stone. These are all the stones, and they will be all Buddhist script will be written there. And mostly this is Om Mani Padme Hum, that is, behold the jewel of the lotus. You know what is the jewel of the lotus? Buddha. And in his name, all these Mani stones will be there, painted all along the route. So this is one thing you will see quite often there. And then these Buddhist stupas, this is another one. For example, this one is stupa. It was created on the 50th anniversary of the climbing of the Mount Everest by Tenzing to honor him. This stupa is there on the way somewhere between Lukla and EBC. And the third one is this prayer wheel or money wheel. And these are the dotted. And you know how to use this. You always rotate them in the clockwise direction. And even those money stone also, you go only in the clockwise direction. Don't do the other way, because that's bad for you, especially when you are going to Mount Everest. Well, so I had both of them, stupas and the money stone are there. And this is my guide. And I started taking some rest already and slowly going to the direction of Phakding. And beautiful trail actually. Oh, you've seen the trail is so beautiful. Tall trees, green and nice paved road. And what else you want? So I thought, oh, it's really cakewalk. So let's go. Beautiful road. Again, tall trees, all beautiful. You can see that. And then ultimately we reach Phakding, a lodge. And okay, I'll tell you here, you don't stay in tent. You always stay in some lodges. The quality of lodges will become worse and worse as you go up and this thing, because facilities will be limited, but we are close to one. This is one of the best one we stayed because it was the closest to Lukla. And in fact, we are so lucky here, we got even attached bath. So you can imagine that, it was really good. And then we stayed there in this bath. So how is your room look like? So give you some example. So all rooms will be something like that, 2 bunk beds. And this is actually good, but the quality of the rooms will decrease again. Here, even you have a carpet there, but you will not find that when you go up and up, it will smaller and smaller and things like that. But roughly the same thing all the way up to Mount Everest. You will get. And then food. So we have been you can get non-veg, but the advice is that don't take non-veg, simply because all non-veg foods comes straight from Kathmandu, carried by the same porters for days. So you don't know the quality of that by the time it reaches there. So avoid that and eat only vegetarian food. And the most recommended one was Nepalese dal bhat. Okay, so Nepalese dal bhat is the most this dal, lentil and rice, and you get some extra even vegetable and papad. So what else you want? So this is one thing. You can get some soup and noodles also. You can get. So our day 2, Fakding to Namche Bajar. And we have been told that after lunch, that big climb up is there, and you have to be ready for that one. But okay, that's coming after lunch. So let's enjoy after lunch. Beautiful route. Now you see these suspension bridges. We'll cross 7 of them on the way to Everest, going crisscrossing the river. And these are beautiful sight, actually. Very nice and beautiful sight. We are going. And then now we are entering another gate. This is the Sagarmatha National Park. And this whole area, the Kumbho district, is mostly Sagarmatha National Park. By the way, I didn't tell you. Actually, the title of my talk should have been trekking to Sagarmatha. This one, not Everest Base Camp, but Sagarmatha Base Camp, because Sagarmatha is the name of Mount Everest in Nepalese, for Nepalese. It's called Sagarmatha, head of the ocean. That's the name. And some British guy decided to have his name there. So that beautiful name gone, and we got it Everest. Okay, so this is the Sagarmatha National Park entrance. We are going there. Well, and you get good cafes also till there. And this is actually honey ginger tea. And this is one of the favorite drinks that we had all the way up to base camp. Well, still beautiful roads, tall trees, and nice trail. So enjoy as far as gone. But then I was little disappointed because these are the rhododendron trees, and they should be blooming actually. But I think it is over because it's crossed that time. So it's not. It's almost bloom. They're not blooming anymore. So time is over. So I was disappointed. I was wondering that, okay, maybe I should have come 15, 20 days before. I would have seen those beautiful flowers here and so on. But okay, whatever you get, you get. So continue. Now this is actually then had our lunch here. And it says here that this is the last establishment before you reach Namche Bajar. So it tells you something, means you will not get anything after that. That's also fine. We started walking. Now we started climbing. So this is actually another suspension bridge. This was the name. This is called Hillary Suspension Bridge, actually. And this was the old one. But then I thought, oh, this is a good climb. And then when my guide told, no, sir, this is where you will start your climbing. So you cross this one and then start climbing for half a day. He said, no, that is really tough. So this is the bridge. Actually, you are crossing. So maybe I have a small video here. So it is there. So now this is the famous Hillary Suspension Bridge. And in front of me, Sri Kumar and Sudeshna. These are my 2 young friends. Crossing the bridge, and I am behind them also. Try to cross this bridge. Okay, so cross the bridge, and then still there are tall trees and right rope, and then the climb became really bad. Well, this is the road, Fakding to Namche. If you call it a road, but it is all you have. You go up and then climb, and then there is a little bit of video. Let's see. Now we are at our final approach towards Namche Bajar, and this is climbing all the way. And this is the toughest part of this whole trip, I think. And today we are told that from Fakding to Namche Bajar is 10 kilometers, but we have almost covered 9 kilometers already. And the milestone showed little earlier that it is still 4 kilometers to go. So I think we have some time to spend in this
ascending the mountain that is in front
Everyone
of
is
us,
still laughing. Anyway,
but
that's
we will
good.
make it, certainly.
Well, we'll make it certainly. So let's make it. Now suddenly at the end of that ordeal, we found Namche Bazaar is visible and these beautiful mountain ranges that is there. And I think this is the mountain range is called Kusum Kangru. That means 3 God mountain. There are 3 peaks actually, one after another, 1, 2, and 3. One is just here. And they're snow peak mountain for the Namche Bazaar people. There are 3 gods. Okay, so this means we have seen the place. Here it is. Most beautiful city in the whole area, in whole Kumbh district is Namche Bazaar. And this is actually hub for the trekkers. And from the picture you can see how beautiful is the establishment there. And so we'll be spending our second night here, not second and third, because next day we have to go to this one. Well, this was cold but tolerable. This is not okay. I'll say that not cold. Now at third day we have acclimatization at Namche Bazaar. Mean not sleeping in your room, but you climb up. So what? That same way. Absolutely. There's no other way. So they come to this place 2 days walking. Well, if you are rich, you can come by helicopter. So that's no vehicle, nothing. From Lukla, nothing. Even after Lukla, you cannot come by vehicle. You have to come by that plane. Okay. So, but I was told that they are trying to make a road up to Lukla. At least they can avoid that plane flight, because many people avoid that Lukla because of that, so dangerous airport actually there. I will not call it adventurous at the moment. Okay. So now here we are staying here somewhere in Namche Bazaar. Now we have to climb this mountain up 400 meters. So this is at 3450 and you have to go to 3880 meters. So, and that is where this is the Everest View Hotel. There is a hotel there, which is the world's highest altitude hotel, that hotel. And you can get a beautiful view of Everest in case if the cloud is clear, then you can see from there. But we have to just go there and come back, nothing. And but that's what we have to do because you have to expose your body. So we started climbing through this route and walking through that route. So there's few photographs there. Here we are climbing and just going there, climb, and slowly reach there. Well, you have to take rest on the way so that you are really feel tired. Now, at least we can see the Everest View Hotel there. So you entered again, climb. But then at the end of that, there is a beautiful deck there. And you sit there and you have your honey ginger tea sitting there, order. And if you are lucky, you could see Everest and other peaks here. But you are not lucky. You can see it was really clouded. And we are asking, why you have come here? It looks all the time clouded. I mean, we are just walking. We have not seen anything except that peak. And all the time, it's cloudy. So you feel a little depressed. But anyway, you have come, so you have to go. So you just, then you come back, take some rest, and return back to Namche Bazaar that night. Next day, you have walk. And I was told in the morning, we'll have just straight road. It's like a Kolkata causeway. So we have to walk there. I said, I'm quite happy. And it turned out to be that. See, nice road, actually. But cloud, you can see, remember that. Nice road. And cloud, our porters are going, we are going, and we started walking that road. Slowly we are walking, but you some place. Then we saw some 2 diversion. There are 2 trails going from here, and then 2 trails, and let's see where are they going. One of them is going to what is called Gokyo Lake. This is another place at 5,500 meters, from where you can get the beautiful view of the whole Himalayan range, and there's a beautiful lake, Gokyo Lake there. And actually somewhere in between you can go from there to EBC. Some people actually combine these 2. That is 18-day trek. But we didn't have that much courage to do that. So we continue on our EBC trek. And well, beautiful. So this is Dudhkosi River is still there. Mountains around, but a little cloudy. You can see all around clouds there. But we somehow managed. Okay, we have to go. So continue. But then things are changing. You have come up in the height. I was telling myself that I should have come 15 days before, but now I start seeing the rhododendron full blooming. because you have come up. This is still it is blooming there. So that's what we started seeing. We are walking through this, forest of rhododendron of different colors, not only red, pink, white. There are rhododendron all around actually. So you start feeling really great. And then you see the rhododendron of different colors, and there are pinkish, there are red and this. So we feel that, okay, at least we are going. Then my guide told me something. He said that today, after lunch, that we have to go down up to this river. I mean, all this height we have gained will gone. We have to go down to the river, cross the river, and then this is our route. Here is where is Tengboche. So let me see my video, my first station.
Well, we have so far crossed 5.5 kilometers, and we are going to go down to Dudhkosi River.
This is
We
where
have our lunch,
There
and
we
then behind that you can see the mountain and the zigzag path that is going all the way top of that mountain, and that's our destination today. At least it is now more visible, so we know where we have to go, and we have to make it before sunset.
Well, we have to make it before sunset, so better quickly finish your lunch. And we have company, of course, all the time on the road. And these are called, these are Joe trains. These animals are Joe, and higher altitude. In the lower, you can get donkey trains, but here is Joe trains. They are called trains because they go in together and carry the porters carry some luggage, and they also carry some luggage. And when you see them, these guys are going along the road, you just go and stand in the side of the hill, not on this side, because they may hit you actually, and then you go down. So they have right of the way. If you see them, you just don't do anything, just go on the side, nothing doing. Well, so we cross them, and then now we are climbing after lunch. This other side we have come, and then we are climbing. You can see some of our climb. It is coming like this, going up. And rhododendron trees are only, flowers are only making us happy on that afternoon. And then this video, I don't have to say anything. Just watch.
I don't have to say anything here. The pictures tells you all.
Why should I complain that I have to climb? These are the Sherpa people there. They are the lifeline of that route, and they are keeping us, our food, everything is because of them. These are the people. But we are enjoying. These are the rhododendron in full bloom. So slowly, even though it is tough, we can manage it and slowly, but it's cloudy. We are still very unhappy that we are not seeing any snow peak mountain at all. And it's actually maybe why we came here all the time. But we reached Tengboche that evening and just went into a room, and then we are, just changing over and then putting our luggage. And suddenly from outside, my friend called that, they called me uncle, come out. I said, what happened? Something wrong? And then I came out and then say, wow. Just outside this snow peak mountain, or just front of us, and then we are just started. This is actually one of these mountains that is Thamserku here, and then we just beautiful mountain, and so that we seen that okay, and then the sun is behind this mountain, and look at their, the reflection, and even the shadows there in the sky, in the cloud, so beautiful actually. And Tengboche is the place where they have a monastery actually. This is okay. And this is also the first time we could get a glimpse of Mount Everest from this place. And this is here is Mount Everest here. And there are, this is actually, this one is the Lhotse actually. Okay. And this one is this other mountain that we saw. This is actually Amadavlam, but I will be talking about that peak a lot, just a little later. Yeah. I was not having, and fortunately I was just tired, and then eating the dal bhat and going to sleep, and then managing. But I'll tell you on the end I had on the last day when I was in Godekse. That was cold. That was much worse. But this was still manageable. I'm not at that height yet. So, well, this is the Tengboche monastery. This is the monastery at the highest altitude, the Buddhist monastery. It's a beautiful monastery, actually. And inside that we couldn't go, but we can go inside. Inside means deep inside, but we can go around and look at this one. And in the evening, and then next morning we slept, and I started our Tengboche to Dingboche flight. This is the monastery, and this is my young friend Sudeshna. She's standing in front of that one. It's beautiful, actually. Yeah, and go inside, but we didn't have time much to that morning because we have to long way. And then we started walking. Wildflowers, mountain, beautiful road, but cloudy. And we are supposed to get snow peak mountains all along in this trek, on this route, at least on today. Nothing of that. Another suspension bridge, crossing the Ingakola River, and then going, just coming sometimes up, coming down. Sometimes there is no road, and you find your road. Now the roads are not anymore those paved roads that we have seen first day, and just slowly. But it is windy. So one thing, you have to cover your nose. But we have been told that this Kumbh wind is very bad because it's a dry wind and it will give you cough, and that will be really bad. So you cover your nose and most of the time and walk. Well, again, you come down and then again walk up. So that is our everyday thing, and crossing the river. But now those suspension bridges are disappearing. Now you are just going down and normal bridges, but fine. But it's still cloudy, but we are making slowly on our way to Dingboche on that day, slowly and slowly. And then it started raining, actually raining, and rain got converted into snow, and still walking. But then at the end of that, when we were walking, tired, we could see in the far, this is the Dingboche establishment where we have to reach and then stay there that night and 2 nights there. Okay, so we are happy, at least we have reached Dingboche. And now we tired, went to sleep. Next day morning, and I actually have to do little yoga, so I got up early, but I just look at my window and outside, it's just, wow, what is there outside? So I knocked my next door, my friends. I said, come up quickly with their camera. They had a better camera, and we ran outside. And this is it. So this was the sun is rising. This one is Lhotse Peak. This is one of the highest, almost like Mount Everest, 8,000 plus height peak. And then this is going, and there are small mountains here, and it is coming out. I don't know. Okay. And then this is another picture of that with Lhotse. And now you can start seeing this mountain. And this is called Amadablam. And the Amadablam is, they call it, it is the Matterhorn of Himalayas. I call it, what is this? This you call Matterhorn the Amadablam of Alps. Because this is, oh, just a minute, I think I missed it. So this is Amadablam. The morning sun is setting, falling on that one, and you can see this is with a beautiful camera of my friend Sikumar, but with my mobile phone itself, it's just good enough, actually. Just looking at this picture, I said, okay, last 3 days we have suffered a lot, but it is worth coming. It's worth coming. So this is the mountain Amadablam we saw, and actually other peaks also. These two are very important peaks also. These are actually 6,000 meter plus, and this was is Thamserku, and this is Khantega, these peaks were called. This peak is Tobuche, and they're all, visible to us in that morning. And then we thought, okay, our coming here is, okay, we're very happy that we have made it. But then that day, as I told you, is another acclimatization day. So we have to go to climb a mountain, but before that, see some more picture. Sun is up a little bit. So this is Thamserku and Thamserku peak, and then now, but we have to go for 400 meters up and come down, because that is our acclimatization day. And we are all walking, going towards a place and climbing mountain. But then after some time, what I found is that I'm the only one, nobody's there. I looked at the back, they've all gone, disappeared. All my 11 members of my group. Of course, my guide was there with me. He was taking us and this thing. And now Bridges also disappear. Some piece of wood there. That's all. You go through the river. Now bridges also gone. So you walk, but I have no option. I went alone to this acclimatization hike, came back, and then I realized what my friends are doing. What they are doing, because while walking in this Dingboche place, they found this beautiful cafe. Cafe 4410. This is the height. So this is cafe. This actually they have apparently read in the internet. This is one of the best cafes in highest altitude. So how can they not go there? So when I was climbing to this 400 meter in that alone, these guys, they're enjoying pizza in that place. Look at them. These guys are going there for trekking. Imagine. And they're this all young guys. That's why you don't go with young people. But anyway, so my guide told me that. I mean, I knew that is happening. So I also came back. By the time I came, they have already gone and taking rest. So I had a coffee there. And that evening, went back and slept happily. Yeah. So happily, I was going back and sleeping. Next day, we started our trek from this Dingboche to Lebuche. And this is looking back, the Dingboche establishment, that's what we see. And this is Amadablam. We are still seeing in the back because we are keeping Amadablam and going towards Everest mountain. But then we are walking. And now, where is the road? You just walk somewhere. There is no roads, walk. This is actually now Kumbho Khola Road. This is Kumbho Khola River. This is actually originating from Kumbho Glacier, just little ahead actually. Just little ahead, you will see it is starting from the glacier. So this is coming out and we are walking along the river. While coming, we'll go below and reach there. This is Feriche. But we didn't come. We came from the mountain, other side of the mountain. This is Amadablam and we are going there slowly, reaching. And then here is a small video to just give information.
Well, we are trekking from Dingboche with all our members and we are almost reaching Thukla. That is where we will have our lunch break. Here
and then
the other side of the river is Thukla, and then we will have to climb the Thukla Pass, and that's really a climb. And then we will reach our destination today, Lebuche. Here is the peak Cholache. And this one is Tobuche. And here in the back, Sri Kumar and Sudesna approaching slowly. And we will soon reach our lunch destination, Thukla, on the other side of the river.
Well, now river. So I told you that in the other one we saw the wood put on the river. Now even that disappeared. There are some boulders put on the rivers and you have to just manage to cross the river through those boulders. And the rivers actually start a little bit ahead from Kumbh Glacier and then starting. But there is no bridge, nothing. So you have to cross, there is no other option. And so our group members were crossing the bridge, that river, or managing it somehow. And then other side, then this is where we had our lunch break. This is the river actually, and we came from this side. And this is Amadamlam again back. But then we are climbing again. This is Dingboche to Lebuche on the way to Thukla Pass. This is the Thukla Pass. So you climb again. This is Thukla Pass. Every day you have to climb after lunch. And I asked them, why is that every day you have to climb mostly after lunch? Why don't you little bit phase it out and then we can climb in the morning? But that is how. Well, we reached the Thukla Pass and reached on the top. And this is the memorials are waiting for us. These memorials are all for these mountaineers who have lost their lives while climbing the mountain, or the Sherpas and the mountaineers from different parts of the world. On their memory, this place is just dotted with such memorial in all around actually. This is a beautiful sight you can see, and you feel like sitting there, just watching those and then thinking about those people, their courage and so on. And we did that for some time. So that gave us a rest. And now we are climbing and towards Labuche. And this is actually is Labuche establishment. Now you can see the establishment also becoming smaller and smaller. This is all it is, Labuche. And you can start seeing these snow peak mountains and more of them coming closer to him. Then some of them is 7,000 feet, 7,000 meter, 8,000 meter deep. And we stayed that night in Labuche. And this is our last day. Labuche to Goreksep. And Goreksep, we will have our lunch and then go to Everest base camp, see that, come back and spend the night at Goreksep and start our return back. So this is our 8th day to Labuche to Goreksep. We have started walking in the morning, beautiful morning, but there is no road. And so this is actually back. We are coming this side. And this is, you can see the two mountains, Khantegar and Thamserku, and this is the Tobuche that we have seen other day. Those peaks are visible in the back, and we are climbing up again in the Labuche. And we have to, again, Labuche, this is Labuche Pass, we have to cross this day in the morning, and we are climbing that.
Well, we are making our approach slowly towards Goreksep, and then from there to Everest Base Camp. We have started from Labuche at 7 a.m. this morning, and we'll go to first Goreksep, have our lunch around 11 o'clock, and then proceed towards Everest Base Camp. From Goreksep to Everest Base Camp, it may take around 2 hours to reach there. Here, if you can see there, in the little behind, Sri Kumar is just standing, taking little rest or no, taking some photograph, and our other members are also climbing slowly, and
Now your
they're
speed
all
has reduced a lot.
approaching.
And it's actually here is the breathing becoming problem. And then we are really, one step it looks like, you have
This is the route
every step.
towards Goreksep, so we'll proceed after a little rest here.
We are taking a lot of rest. That's all you can do. And then this is almost now, there is no road. So you go through, you make your road through the boulders and then slowly moving towards our final destination that day. And then this is actually, we are walking. I didn't realize that here it is. All these mountains, suddenly we came and then start seeing these snow peaks mountains all around. And to me, it is just nature's splendors to the maximum here. Well, now I'll show you this video. This is the best video that I can make. And on that tick.
We have just coming from Labuche to Goreksep, just climbed a pass, and after that, this stunning beauty was waiting for us. Chumbu,
The mountain name.
Kumori, Kumbutse, Lola, Nupse, here in the back, Khantega and Thamserku, Tabuche and Cholatse and many others. All this trouble of difficulties of climbing and so on that we have faced for the last 7-8 days, just this picture, this place itself will return you back with interest.
So this is actually, you get 360-degree all around those snow peak mountains here. Just, you feel like, you are at, well, now we are walking to the glacier. You see these white spots, you can see this is actually the Kumbhu Glacier. Everest is somewhere here and Kumbhu Glacier is coming down. In fact, all these boulders is on top of the glacier. this glacier is something like 250 to 300 meter deep. And then over erosion, this is covered by this, all this dust and boulders and so on. But we are really walking through that glacier here. So this is big boulders, but we are walking through the boulders. And you have to make your way through these boulders there. And they're far away, you start seeing Kalapathar. And this is there. And you can see this close-up of this glacier and covered by all this erosion and so on. But still, well, we're almost there. I mean, behind the ridge is, maybe it is here, here. So this is actually the Gorakhsep establishment, a very small establishment. Probably this is a video. Yeah.
From Lobuche, we have just now reached our last destination. Here we can see is Gorakhsep. And this is the last permanent establishment where we will spend tonight. Everest Base Camp is 3 kilometers from here, near the Kumbho Glacier, seen in this direction. What is visible is the Nupse Peak.
This is the Nupse Peak, 8,000 meter plus.
While Everest will not be visible from base camp,
there.
But we will get a glimpse of it while trekking towards base camp from a rip just before reaching Everest Base Camp. Of course, the best view of Everest, and in fact the entire Mahalangur range, which it is called, will be visible very clearly from the top of Kalapathar, where we plan to go early morning tomorrow, weather permitting.
But weather didn't permit us, that is a different story. Okay, so this is this one. So we had our lunch and then our last 3 kilometers towards Everest Base Camp. So this is still nice, valley and road, but then soon we started climbing and a view of this oil. Now it is visible. You can see those yellow tents. These are the base camp tents, and these mountaineers, they will be staying here, and their route is this way, and they have to cross this Kumbho Glacier. This is the Kumbho. This is called Kumbho Ice Fall, and this is the most dangerous part in the entire route to Mount Everest, and because people died here actually in this place a lot, and so this is how they will. But we will go up to here, somewhere here, in the front there, and then, well, this is the close-up view, as I told you, of Mount Everest, and from that point, and that is visible there. But then this video is just.
We are making our final approach towards the Everest Base Camp. A little more walk along this reef, and we have to climb down, and we will be reaching at Everest Base Camp Rock. Actually, the point up to where we will go, there is nothing, actually a rock, and in that rock it is written Everest Base Camp, that's it. But we have to take our photos there, so we have to go there. Here you can see far away all the camps, the tents, base camp tents, and beyond that is the Kumbho Glacier, and then we can throw you up and up and up, and there in the between is not the front peak, but behind that peak is Mount Everest.
Well, that's the Mount Everest here. Well, then we reach Everest Base Camp, 5364 meter, happy, reached there, tired, but really happy. But then there was some surprise waiting for me. Actually, all my group members decided to give me a big salute there. So they asked me to stop in the front, and here is it. And then my speech there.
Uncle, you are
So happy today. All the group members have
Everybody is happy.
Yeah, you can do anything.
But then everybody has come up to 5364 meter. I have to little more, so I have to climb some more. So I decided to go on top of that. So I had 3 more feet on my height, and then went there. And while my young guys are down, and I said, okay, at least I have come more than you. And that's it. It is then from there we started returning back in 3 days. So goodbye, good accept. And then, but while coming on that day, big snowstorm hits us, but we have to climb. There is no way. You just snow or rain or whatever it is, you have to walk, because you have to walk 22 kilometers on that day. So we walked through this snowstorm, and we are really again very tired, this thing. But now we are getting back our thing, no, breathing, because you are coming down. So little altitude less is good for you. And you're just feeling fresh. And when you are suffering like that, just few, 15 minutes later, the weather become clear, and we are still on our raincoat, but we are walking in a beautiful valley towards Feriche. It's beautiful, and seeing that is very nice. And then while coming down next day, there was a peace march. Somebody was going with a peace torch, a group of people, and to Mount Everest base camp. And they actually gave me their torch to hold it. And then I got a photograph with them, good with them. And then slowly those mountains that were part of us for the last few days are receding from us, going back and back. They can slowly. So we are also in a sad mood, and that is, but then still, okay, it's in the evening sun, and you can see this Thamserku is, in real golden color, and it's just super seeing. And then all these beautiful things we are keeping behind. So my young friend was very, very unhappy, sitting there. That I don't know why he was unhappy. I am interpreting that he is unhappy because you are coming back from those beautiful places. But it may be also that he is unhappy because you have to now go through this road again. I don't know for what. But whatever it is, he was unhappy. But he managed. And then end of our beautiful trip, came out of that, national, this Sagarmatha National Park gate again. And then coming back, he's now happy because ending. It is all end. And then we came out of that gate where we started, Pasang Lamu gate, all happy and beautiful. And then that evening, we are actually, our journey is over. But then we came with those memories of those people who live there. That is one. And Satya, can you tell me the weight of this? It should be in your mind. 6 meters long. These are the counters that iron pipe that I have used in my young days for making proportional counter. Each one is 35. Each one is 35 kilometers. I can guarantee. 35 kg. So 2 of them is 70 kg straight. They are carrying probably all the way from Lukla. This is near Lukla, all the way to maybe Gorakhpur, because they have to make another lodge for us to stay to enjoy the beauty of that place. But their life is like that. Well, somebody else was carrying this, all this. So they have made their, the lodge walls using those woods, and they are doing for us. It's their daily life, but they are all happy. Whether there is a young girl there or an old lady, all are laughing. That's the people of Sherpa people, that's their life there. And with that memory, we return back to our normal life. And we reach Lukla, we got a good, this thing from our, and this is called, in Nepalese, this is how they will garland you and putting this on you. And then we are all happy that we have made it. And that's the end of my talk. Thank you.
Literally, absolutely amazing, very amazing trip. Very, very inspirational. We almost walked with you. I mean, we didn't get tired because we were sitting and watching it. But so nicely, Owen, so nicely told us and very inspired. I'm sure some of you probably will kind of at least dare to think to go to the same EBC. And I'm not sure if are there some questions. Maybe we will take a few of them, and I'll also look for questions from social media. Quite a few. Okay, just give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, it is, that side of.
First of all, many congratulations for this inspiring story. And definitely we'll take something from you. I have actually two questions. One is along with this physical fitness, are you have taken any medicines like Dimox or anything to increase your oxygen level?
Yes, you can take Diamox. Actually, that's suggested also. And you have to take 125 milligram in the morning, 125 milligram in the evening, and that will give you little bit of benefit. Yes.
And another thing that do you use that warm kind of things to maintain your body temperature?
No, nothing. That whatever is that. See, whatever you have to do, dress is that you take layers. Okay. So usually we had to have 3 or 4 layers. Okay. Inner t-shirt and then one more t-shirt and then the down jacket. So this is how we manage actually. And then sleeping bag in the night. See, these places are all there is no heating or anything.
Yes.
So you have to go in your sleeping bag and then take this blanket they have provided. And the Gorakhsep was the worst place. Actually, somebody was asking me the last night, Gorakhsep, whether I was sleeping or not. Sandeep was asking that Gorakhsep was really bad because that day when you are coming back from EBC and that is a snowstorm. That's why there is no picture there while coming back from EBC. There is no. It was just so much snowstorm was there, and it was already night actually because we were late in that place. And then it was terrible. And then we couldn't take any picture. And that day, next day morning, we had to go at 3 o'clock. We had to go to the Kalapathar. But the Kalapathar was completely covered with snow, and we realized that it will be difficult for in that cold. So when guide also suggested that don't go. So only 2 of our young girls, two of the girls in our group, they went up to Kalapathar. One of them came back halfway, and one of them went up to the top. She is actually a sports girl from Pune, and with good health. But then she came back. But on the way back, she was having high fever for next 3 days. Even she couldn't take it. Actually, it was so cold. So in that night, I felt really cold. But then I was just while climbing up last 2 days, it was really bad. Every step you take, you feel like you are very tired. You are walking all the time. So you again take rest and slowly. But along with physical fitness, I think mental preparation is also important. Mentally, you have to be telling yourself that yes, I'll do it. No problem. I'll do it. And that was So I'll tell you one of the ladies in our group called Sumi lad from Bombay, actually from Thane. She was there with us. She's around late 40s. On that Namche Bazaar route, she was suffering so much. I was thinking that she'll give up next day, and then she'll go down. She didn't do that. She changed her style. So she used to get up 1 hour early, take one of the porter, and then go slowly and before 1 hour. So she has the advantage of 1 hour sitting slowly. She also made it. So you have to have that mental, this thing, and then you'll make it. Everybody will make it.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
No questions, sir, but congratulations rather. And thank you very much for this very wonderful and informative, very nicely documented presentation. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Mondal.
Hey, can you please pass on? No, we need my people. And brief questions.
Did you stay in tent?
No.
No.
In this Everest EBC route, there is no tent. These are all Sherpa lodges and the Sherpa villages. So this is the one good part of that one. You get good food and hot food at least, and then a place to sleep. So no tent.
You went in a climbing season. So there is a lot of rush.
So
Generally.
actually there was rush, but luckily when we are at the EBC, at the Everest base camp, we are the only people, 12 of us. That day, it so happens as fluctuation that nobody was there when we are there. So it was little less. But while coming down, we see again huge rush of people going. We said, oh, we are so lucky. Because while climbing up, we are telling we are so unlucky. It's all cloudy. Yes. Yes, book as well as in internet. There are lots of blog available. You can read those and then get information. And then we had 2 briefing sessions with our this company that we have that arranged for us the Honey Guide company. So we had those. So we had all the information that we knew, and I knew actually almost in my mind that how will be the terrain. and that I knew clearly, and where I have to do what.
Yeah, I think location. Yeah.
Yeah, just one question. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you,
It's
Lokesh.
wonderful. This first patch, when you go by the flight,
Yeah.
first patch, is there a convention that go by flight, or there is also some groups go by
No.
trekking?
So that's the point. If you want to go to Lukla by, there is no vehicle goes there. So you have to only climb or you have to go by flight. So many people, there is another route. It takes 2 days, additional days. So you can come by somewhere and you can trek up to Lukla without going through that the flight.
And also, what about on the roadside, forest and so on? Is there wildlife?
Well, okay, I have not seen the picture. There are birds. We have seen quite a beautiful birds actually there. They're quite. No, we didn't.
Sandeep.
Sorry, Naba, you said you carried some luggage.
Huh.
Roughly how much do you have to
so
carry?
okay, now actually I should give you this one. So the porter will take 10 kg for you. So what you put into that is sleeping bag. You have to take a lot of dry food and your all the dress and etc. or whatever is not you are using, those will be there. Day pack is day pack. So you carry there basically first thing which is most weight wise is the water. So you have to have a water bottles or oil to water pouch, and then you have a pipe and then you can just suck it through that one. So that I have to take. So they suggested at least 4 to 5 liters of water. So I have to carry 3 liters and then 2 or 3 liters, and then halfway during lunchtime I have to refill it, and then that's how I have to do. So I was carrying something like 4 to 5 kgs. Okay, morning maybe 5, and then water. But my young colleagues, Sri Kumar, he had a camera with him, and that's why he has 2 kgs extra in the front. So that's what I was carrying. So yes, you do. So towards the actually headache is the main thing actually you should get. Yeah, headache is the is the first part of this mountain sickness, AMS. So headache, but they are told us if you just get headache, you take some crocin and ignore it. But you have to know when you have to just stop and come down. So that is some thin line that you have to keep it in your mind. And maybe if your headache continues, and then you go to there are some medical facilities, not everywhere, but some places there are medical facilities where you can go and get yourself checked. In fact, 2 of my young colleagues, they had to get checked because they are really suffering. And but then the doctor said, okay, you can make it, and they did it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. A good question. In fact, every night when you are reaching there and your oximeter reading. So when in this COVID period, if it goes back below 75, you will be thinking that you have to go to the hospital immediately. So I was, we are taking, and somebody's oximeter 75. And so then we asked guide. I was better actually. I'll tell you mine. So out of 3 of us, Sri Kumar, my young friend, his was going low actually. He was getting something like 75, like that. Mine and Sudeshna's, ours was staying around 80, 85. So we are happy. And the guide says that up to 65, you don't worry. See, actually, this is true because COVID time means if your oxygen level going down means you have problem with your lungs.
Yeah.
But here, just oxygen is not there,
Yeah.
right? So there is a difference between these two. So that was, yes, but oximeter was a must. You should carry.
Just a second. I think there was one, you have a mic in your hand. Yeah.
How much did it cost?
Okay.
Good point. So the company went, roughly it cost us, including airfare, etc., 1.2 lakhs for us. But in fact, if you go directly, now I know that I can directly contact that guide without going through all these companies, and he will arrange for us. It will be a little cheaper.
You can
Okay.
contact him rather going to that.
Maybe I will start a company. There are. So that first gate I showed you, and there you have to get a card. So that is a card you have to have, and that card you have to carry because they will check many times, and you have to pay money for that. Some 2,000. No, there are actually, this is a normal. There's a trekking route, no. So there is no army there, but their securities are there. Indian time there is army. Yeah, there is no army here. So actually, this is quite, that way Nepal, their economy depends upon this tourism. So they have made it at least here. And there are so many trails there.
Trekker friendly.
Checker friendly.
By the way, I lost count. Who has mics?
Yeah, Annapurna base camp is yes, is a 4,100 meter as Annapurna base camp. So we are next year we are planning to go to Annapurna circuit. That's 5,500 meter.
Kindly, can I ask the question, please, Professor Mondal, respected Mondal?
Yes.
Many congratulations for your golden achievement, reaching Everest.
Thank you, Reddy.
Wonderful, really amazing this age. And I expected you might have reached the same milestone in physics also.
Okay. So,
My only last question, kindly comment on INO. What is the situation?
okay. I'm sorry, Reddy. This is not a talk on INO, and also we are actually very late now. It is already 5:30. Thanks very much for your congratulatory message.
No. I just now reached home from hospital. That is why I could not join.
Take some rest. Please take some rest, and you can always contact him. But right now, we have to close this session because at 5:30 our Zoom will probably go off. Okay?
Because he is my second guru. So
okay. Thanks very much. And also thank all of you in the audience here, and as well as those who have joined on the internet. So I think this is a small memento, small symbol of our remembrance.
Yes.
And more so, I think your promise is still intact that we want to have another talk after you reach summit.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. But now I have one last comment to make. So we are planning next year to Annapurna circuits, and I would like many of you to join us in that trekking trip.
Okay, you talked about, now you have it. So thank you once again. Please join for a cup of tea.
yeah, wonderful, Mandal. Keep it up.